Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. My name is Great Eagle, some pilot. I'm a real world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation together for all you wonderful people out there. How's everyone doing this afternoon? We're going to be doing some real world Delta A330 operations. They actually do run, it seems like almost daily, an A330-200 from Detroit down to Atlanta. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We are all set up here on the gate Alpha 40 here in Detroit. Clearance has been received. We haven't started boarding yet, but that is quite all right. At the beautiful Detroit airport here. I think this one's an iniBuilds Detroit airport. It even has the little metro train that shuttles you back and forth. This is a massive terminal here in Detroit. But without further ado, let's get right to actually, wow, look at that. It's actually like a little hole opened up right over the airport here. Absolutely beautiful, but it doesn't look good everywhere else. So there we go. Excellent. Well, without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? We will hop onto the flight deck here. Go ahead. I'm going to quick load everything. That's not the button I wanted. We'll quick load everything here. So I'll go to payload. Sim brief, there we go. We'll just apply the load. Instant, there we go. So we'll do everything instant. Okay. Alrighty. And then we'll get GSX to load, do their little fake load or whatever a little later on. Let's see. Nav ADRS 1, 2, and 3 are aligned. We can go ahead and test the APU fire. That sounds good there. We'll come on down the left-hand side of the overhead panel. Everything looks good. We will go ahead and get the recorder ground control on. There's no test function for that, so that's very interesting. We'll continue all the way down. Everything looks good there. Up top again, we'll test the engine fire on both 1 and 2 now. That all looks good. Hydraulics are all set. Our fuel is all set. Electrical panel is checked. Everything here looks good. I like to turn the AC down just a little bit there. Maybe the first notch. So that when the packs get going, we already have a pre-selected temperature. Anti-ice panel looks good. Window heat is an auto. Temperaturization looks good. Auto, and the ditching switch is guarded closed. Our external lights all look good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the APU going at this time. There we go. We'll arm the emergency exit lights going back up to the right hand side of the overhead panel here. The overhead, the observer's ACP. We got PA about 3 o'clock position. VHF3 is in data. That looks good. Everything else on this side of the overhead panel all look good. Let's go on to the glare shield left or right. We're looking for. Let's go ahead and extinguish that master caution. All of our lights are extinguished. Flight director's on. 2995 is the current altimeter. We have constraints, 10 nautical miles arc, VOR, and ADF. We do not need center FCU here. Looking for digits and numbers displayed, and we want to be in heading vertical speed. All the push buttons are extinguished. Same thing on the first officer's EFIS. We don't need the VOR, ADM, 10 nautical miles arc, constraint 2995, and the flight director's on. All of his push buttons are off over there. Coming over to the main instrument panel, left to right, we have the captain's PFD on the left-hand side, ND on the right-hand side. Our ISIS is aligned. Let's see, our clock is showing about, oh yeah, this one, okay, so you actually have to, that's the correct way it should be. You have to press and hold to see the date, and when you release it, it goes back to the time. That is the correct way that should be modeled in the Airbus. The upper and lower ECAM displays are in the correct orientation. Brake fan is off. Landing gear is down through green. We have the anti-skid nozzle steering is on. Landing gear is done with no red arrow there. That all looks good. Gravity gear extension is stowed. We'll come over to the first officer side, Indy on the left, PFD on the right. Coming down to the center pedestal here. Let's go ahead and select FM1. On this side, I guess we'll select FM2. We have a current database that looks good. So what I like to do is we go ahead and hit the initialization. Come on down. I get ground and tower, and we'll get departure frequency up there. We do have some controllers online this evening in Detroit. So my RMP ACP look good. Integral lighting is checked. Radar is off, and PWS is off as well. Let's see. We'll come over to the center pedestal here. Let's recall. Yeah, we're on 121.8. That's weird. Alrighty. This functions differently. Let's see. Those levers at idle. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brake disarm radar. The flaps are up. This does not work. So that's that. The rotor trim showing digits in the window there. And lastly, the FO side, we can come on straight down. We already pre-flighted the FMGC there. Let's go ahead VHF2 and put 121.5 in there just for fun, shall we? Even though we're not going to be listening to it and no one should be using it, for the sake of real world ops. There we go. His RMP ACP all look good. Lighting looks good. We get a 2151 squawk. I get the transponder to on there. Let's go ahead and do an accumulator check real quick. I'll press both brakes down, release the parking brake. I release the left brake and press that right brake. There we go. Alternate braking system check is complete. So let's go ahead and bring up our tablet. Max Reason, hello. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. Glad to have you back for another live stream. The texturing is kind of nice. This is the INI A330, and it's actually not bad. They actually did a pretty good job in terms of how the texturing looks. I find it to be a little dark in here for my taste, but to each their own. And it could be because it's so cloudy out. That's also affecting how things look. Let's go ahead and hide that. Let's see. We have Detroit to Atlanta, Delta 3318. We got GSP as the alternate. Cost index at 40,000 feet. Okay, that all looks good. We'll go over to page B. And we were looking at a zero fuel weight of 314.6. Hopefully you're having a great evening there, Max Racing. And we're looking for a zero fuel weight CG of 26.1. So we do that, 26.1. Excellent. Our block fuel, 44.3. Now, one thing that we can't do is really change the route reserve, but should be able to change our alternate fuel here. Alternate fuel is going to be 7.2. There we go. And let's go over to our flight plan page. It's going to be 22 right. No, 22 left for departure. Sorry. I said expect runway. Yeah, plan runway 22 left. So departure runway 22 left. Got the nav accuracy upgrade, GPS primary. That looks good. 22. Did I? Yeah, get that. And then we're going to be on the Clavin 3 stays transition. Shall go ahead and insert that. And for the arrival, it's going to be 26 right. So we'll do the ILS to 26 right. And that's going to be on the Andre, something like that. water angle with the A-Trion transition there. Boop. Put that in there. We'll go ahead and insert that. All right, that all looks good. We'll go back to init. It looks like it does get the winds in there. Oh, cruise winds. There we go. Okay, that all looks good. Performance here, we need to Sim Update 3 for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is going to be a game changer. The ability to download the entire sim and make it stable. Okay, I thought it was only going to be like airports and airplanes, but you're saying the entire sim? I wonder how big that's going to be, though. But yes, I would 100% agree that being able to have all of that on your PC, I mean, I have the space on my PC for it, having that on your PC, that's not the right runway. 22, yeah, 22 left. Yeah. No, that is the right runway. And our weight of 357. Is that what we were planning on? We were planning on a weight 357.7. Alrighty, let's go. We'll do plus 2,000 pounds, so 359.9. 9.9. Get rid of view. Air conditioning on. Anti-ice off. Force toga off. We'll go ahead and calculate that. You thought it was the entire sim? No. Well, I'm still not too sure. I think I may have been like in passing heard a video that was talking about that. So that's why I say it may just be airports and airplanes. But if it's the entire sim, even better, because if something happens, it's not on the Microsoft server side. It's on your PC now. Alrighty, so we went ahead and sent our performance data to our FMGC. That uplink looks good there. We got 127, 44, 45. These speeds, I don't know why they're glitching out. They shouldn't be glitching out. Excellent. We go next phase. And you see here, look at the gross weight. It says 359 point or 358.9. It keeps going back and forth. I don't know why that keeps freaking out there, but that's why we do the plus 2,000 pounds when we plan our takeoff, just for any changes in bag weights, extra passengers, little overfuel there. You never know what happens. So we'll go next. We want 290 in our descent entry. Oh yeah, that's right. You got to do the slant in this. The box is actually smart. You don't have to put the slant in there. And we won't worry about that. Or the secondary flight plan, we'll just copy that on over. That all looks good there. Did I get the APU up and going? I did. So we can get the external power off, APU on. And I can go ahead and ask the ground crew to remove our GPU. Alrighty, all is right with the world. Let's go ahead and... GSX does not want to reload from SimBrief because apparently the airplanes don't match, so that's weird, but we're request boarding anyway. Oh, I said request deboarding, didn't I? It didn't take it anyway. Request boarding. Boarding requested. There we go. So looking at my FMA here, this doesn't look right, so let's cycle our flight directors. Whenever you get an FMA that doesn't look right, turn the flight directors off, give it a few seconds, and yeah, I just noticed that for Delta 3318. Thank you. We'll probably be pushing back here in a few minutes. Hello? Oh. Alright, looks like he's gonna switch. Nope, he keeps spawning in and out.
Yeah, I don't know.
This guy.
191, you want the 300?
Bro, you spawn in, you see, oh, he's slewing. Where is he going? Where is he going? Yeah, yeah, it does look like he slewed to the gate next to me. Okay, my guy. The joys of flying online, I guess. There's literally, okay, there it is. I was like, literally no cargo going in. Alrighty, so. Welcome to VATSIM. Alrighty. I believe one's called the, are there two different MICDs for the 320? Yes. And what's the differences? They pretty much operate exactly the same. So this one's the Honeywell. The one you see in the Phoenix is the Talus. So INI likes to do the Honeywell. So you see that on the INI 320, 321, and the 330. Phoenix and the fly-by-wire team, they model the Talus system. Both pretty much look and function nearly exactly the same. The biggest difference which that I notice is with the Direct 2 page. So Direct 2 is slightly different, but it functions essentially the same. So that's really the biggest difference there. If I can find more, I definitely plan on making a video about that. Let's see. Oh, we need to do a briefing, shall we? Alrighty, so let's first review our route. Alrighty. So, departing 22 left out of here, we'll continue, we'll take off and fly straight ahead to Boozy. I did not know it was closed for construction. There we go. Ratios that are below 7,000 feet. Then we got fall at or above 3,100 feet. Then Clavin, Tufton, Renite, something like that. Puddle, Stays, and then from there we're going to go direct to FLM, Foxtrot Lima Mike. From there we'll go direct to K Tryon, and then we'll pick up the arrival going into Atlanta with a total distance of 526 miles. We got 567, so close enough. Oh, sorry, I read that backwards. 562 versus 567. That's very close. All right, there we go. Have we done night flying on this channel? Not pure night flying. We've done some where we've landed on at night, obviously. I've done, I do remember one turn and burn ended in Salt Lake City at evening time. And then we, just this week we did, or last week, we did United 320 from Denver to Springfield, and that was a nighttime arrival. So there we go. Let's go ahead and brief up our Ghost FO over here. Are you ready for a briefing? Yep. What are your threats? Really, the biggest threat is that aircraft that keeps spawning on top of us. Yeah, I would say that is a big threat. We'll make sure we stay out of his way and he stays out of our way. We'll taxi to runway 22 left. I'm guessing it's going to be like Bravo and Kilo or Yankee down to the end, which is Yankee 10. Plan on a flaps 1 flex, standard reject considerations. Any questions about what we reject for? Nope. Should we lose an engine after V1, we'll continue straight ahead to about 5,000 feet, clean up the aircraft, work the ECAM, and make our return back to 22 left. It is the longest runway available to us at 12,003 feet. Otherwise, we will continue out on the SID. Top altitude is 17,000 feet. That's in there. We are restricted to 280 knots above 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 126.22, and we got a squawk at 2151 in there. Any questions? No further questions. Excellent. Let's go up here. We got that. We'll go ahead and get the... Yeah, that's on. Let's check our... This is in a slightly different order. Fuel is on board. Balance with the pumps on. Hydraulics, all within our fill ranges. Pressurization auto with a correct landing elevation. And our engine oil, we can't check because we probably need to turn on way up here. FedEx Power 1 and 2. There we go. That all looks good. And I didn't do an oxygen check, but why not? There we go. Gotta do it. You gotta do it. What's your opinion on being a commuting airline pilot? Don't like it. You know, some people do it. Good for you. It's no fun. You end up spending a lot of your time thinking about commuting versus will I actually see anyone? Oh, I will. They're just gonna go in there though. Hello. You end up spending a lot of time and energy figuring out flights you can take, and you know where those flights leave out of, depending on where you're based and what airline options you have. It could involve a terminal change, or taking a bus to a different terminal, which is even worse when you have to do that because that adds more time that you need to get over to your next gate. So that 100% is what it is at that point. Some people, they just commute, you know, their entire time, you know. There's some people that absolutely refuse to commute. And you know, I'm part of the, you know, I'm not a huge fan of commuting community, but if that lifestyle works for you, then it works for you, and I can't hate you for it as long as you are happy with your quality of life and how you're living your life. How can I be mad? How can I be upset about that? You're living your best life, so you know, you do you. And so that's that. But for me, I'm not personally a huge fan of commuting. Feel like a lot of pilots don't have much of a choice because they were bases somewhere they deem unlivable. That's and they don't want to take a long drive. That's I mean, you know, you make of it what you will, right? Like you can we'll just take the stereotypical elephant in the room, right? New York City, right? High cost of living, high crime area, you know, 3 airports. You got Newark, LaGuardia, JFK, depending on the airline. If you're United, then it's really just Newark and LaGuardia. If you're Delta, then it's really just JFK and LaGuardia. So you really do have all these airports combined with high cost of living, high taxes, high crime. But on the flip side of that is you don't have to live in New York City. You can live outside on Long Island, take the train in, and actually enjoy the commute to work. You could drive into work. It is what it is. You know, I do know a handful of people that actually live around the New York City area. You know, that's what they do. You know, they live up there. That's their home, and they're not moving from there, right? You know, for me, I don't want to live in Anchorage, Alaska, right? So, why would I take a job at Alaska, right? Knowing that there's a real good possibility that I could be based in Anchorage. Same thing for like UPS, right? Like UPS has a huge Alaska or Anchorage base. That's like, why would I take a job at UPS? And you know, be forced to live or commute all the way to Anchorage. That's not a short commute, no matter where you're coming from. Even if you're coming from Seattle, it's still not that short of a commute. So, you know, as long as it makes sense for you and you're happy with the life you're living, I can't knock you on that one. There's plenty of airlines with bases in Houston. Yeah, you get well, ExpressJet isn't a thing anymore. RIP. I was getting ready to say ExpressJet because I know a lot of buddies that went there. But you used to have ExpressJet. United, is Mesa there too? I think Mesa's there now. Spirit Frontier. And then you have not in IH, but in Hobby, you have Southwest. I know that for sure. So, Houston is a junior United base. Who knows? I believe 3 hours is the drive limit for most airlines. I think you are right about on par with that. 3 hours is literally the furthest you can live from a from base. While being on reserve. And then I have to preface that while being on reserve, 3 hours is the furthest you can be from base. Simply because a lot of airlines have call out times and such, so you got to live within that call out time area. So, you know, if you can make it within your call out time area, you can live there, right? So if you want to be Orlando based at JetBlue but live in Tampa, go for it, you know? Oh, stop seeing people coming. I thought we were done boarding there for a second. Maybe I should have boarded up with GSX while we were doing all that preparation there. Oh, there we go. You got the final ding. Go ahead and get that beacon light turned on. Let's see. You gonna get rid of the jet bridge? We can go ahead and close you. Excellent. And prepare for pushback and departure. Wait. Is he going to do the whole thing? Okay. There we go. We'll call ready to push. Let me pull the ATIS real quick. Stay back. 29905. Okay.
That's your ground runway 22 left, taxi uniform, kilo, cross runway 9 left at kilo. Information Quebec, current altimeter 29905.
Clear runway 22 left, taxiing uniform, kilo, crossing 9 Lima at kilo. Information Quebec and 29905 altimeter, Delta 1278.
Low ground, Delta 3318 heavy, ready for push and start on Alpha 40.
Delta 3318, push and start is at Wounded Discretion, call for taxi, expect runway 22 left, departure, face north.
Alrighty, push is our discretion, face north, we'll call ready for taxi, expect 22 left for Delta 3318 heavy. Alrighty, that's going to be nose left. Excellent, we shall release the parking brake. Alright, let's go ahead and get those engines started, shall we? That's the one thing I do wish the sounds were a lot better on this. They're not really that good. You say FedEx pilots, most junior bases Memphis, so they must be full of commuters. That would probably track. Although I'm pretty certain they have like their own like little community of like just FedEx pilots out there. That kind of like live in a very close knit community, so they're kind of insulated from a lot of the stereotypical Memphis violence, if you will. But you know, it is what it is. Anything longer than 3 hours is a road trip for me. Yeah. I mean, you think about it, you drive 3 hours to work and then 3 hours from work. You just drove 6 hours for a trip, which, you know, if you're gonna be someone that does that, you might as well you might as well try to stack as many trips as you can together, so that you can get all your work done fairly efficiently, so you're not constantly having to drive, you know, 6 hours every time you need to go to work and come from work. You said 2 hours, actually. I mean, either way, yeah. I mean, 1 hour is starting to stretch it for me. Like, you literally can't even hear the sound of the engines. Like, they're very below basic. Also, the engine is spinning backwards. Neither here nor there. Man, hopefully we might have some ATC all the way down to Atlanta. There he is. Alrighty, we got that salute. Engine's almost started here. Oh, very interesting. I wonder what something triggers that to set the takeoff trim. I don't know what it is, but something does it. All right, so flaps 1. I think he said 299 or 3. I'll get that here in a second. $299.03 said once, said twice, and said three. Okay, this one just syncs up. I don't know why, but it is what it is. What? This thing just makes a random. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted status. There we go. Excellent. I don't know. We're just kind of winging it here. Don't have like any sort of official checklist. But I'm trying to do things. Sounds like we'll pretty much do it in a regular A320. Let's go ahead. You know what? Let's go ahead and do our flight control check here. Pull up. Pull down. Neutral. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. Alrighty. Go ahead and get you on max. We should be on 4.4 units. So 4.4. That looks close enough right there to me. Don't you think? Let's see. We'll go ahead and get the predictive wind shear, turn that over to auto, and now that's still not going to do anything. Alright, well, you know, it is what it is. Oh, as soon as I release the brake, that's when you're going to do it. We'll go ahead and test that. Excellent. Romeo 2 993 2988. Okay, looks good. The ground Delta 3318 Heavy is ready to taxi. We have information Romeo. Two left via uniform kilo cross runway 90 left at kilo for Delta 3318 Heavy. Alrighty, cabin is ready. Everything is complete. We'll go ahead and we'll finish up by turning our TCAS on. Everything else looks good to me. Delta. I don't. Delta Cult? Or are you talking ATL? Definitely seaplane and crew. Not much of a FAMI person. Farming? Not much of a farming person. I know that's V1. I mean, I assume you mean Delta Atlanta sleeping in the crew room. You know, it really depends because Atlanta really is a city. It's a fairly big city, but you are also down south as well, right? So once you start getting into some of the burbs there, you can definitely find some good property to buy that is pretty remote. But you do have to go pretty far outside the city to actually find that. Yeah, I think V1 is definitely into the fishing and hunting type of deal. Alrighty, the next turn up here, oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to do this. Let's do that. Put this up here, and our next turn, nope, is going to be uniform. I'll slow down just a little bit to make this turn. Oh, 100%. I'm pretty sure there's, I mean, you know, everyone has a different thing, right? Like I had one captain in the jump seat one day, and he was on his second of 3 flights to commute to work, or from work. He was going home. He was on the second of 3 flights to commute home. He bought property literally in like the middle of nowhere, and he has to go to 2 separate hubs just to get to the regional flight that will be able to take him to the airport that he commutes out of. And then this is Kilo right here, and then he still has a drive after that. So he definitely, you definitely get some people with you know, different goals in life. Here's Kilo. We're gonna make the right hand turn on Kilo. We are cleared to cross. 9er left here. Got a Turkish 777 sitting over there. All right. See, departure frequency is 2622. Alrighty. I just gotta remember that. It really does depend. Again, like, I always like to tell some of the younger guys that are like, you know, they're starting their career off and they don't know which regional to go to or what major to go to. And the thing I tell them is, look at the airline that has the bases where you want to live at, right? Like, if you absolutely love shoveling 90 feet of snow in negative 150 degree Fahrenheit temperatures, go to Minneapolis. You'll love it there. If you love having margaritas on the beach every day, go to Miami. You're gonna love it there. If you like the nonchalant lifestyle of being on the beach and being able to live healthy and work out and also deal with crazy amounts of traffic, go to LA. You're gonna love it there. If you love just being in a crazy busy city that literally doesn't end, go to New York City. But always choose the base where you want to live. That's what I always like to say. We are getting close to the end here. I was hoping you would change us before we got there. This viewpoint is a little weird as well. I'm looking a little too far down. Like, I get it. Like, I don't know why I'm looking all the way down here. Like, the standard viewpoint should be slightly higher. Alrighty. We'll pretty much take this to Yankee 10. I think is what it's going to be called. I'll bring this up. We'll get rid of that. Switch on over to tower. 2622. There we go. That's a 3318 heavies ready for departure 22 left. Gonna booze runway 22 left, clear for takeoff for Delta 3318 heavy. Have you ever had such a great conversation with FO that you find it hard to keep stuck up? Well, I mean, yeah, you do have great conversations with FOs, but then you'll say, okay, let's put a pin in that and we'll pick it up later, type of deal. Ooh, this looks like a crinkle in the scenery here. I hope I don't get stuck. I hope I don't get stuck. It looks like 2 crinkles in the scenery. But, iniBuilds, how did you not find / sort this out? Alrighty, we're clear to go. 22 left, clear left. Should probably actually look left. 22 left, clear left. Ribs on. Those are on. Excellent. Oh, I forgot to turn the volume back down from the engine start, but that's quite alright. Here we go. There we go. We'll set it to about 40%. Half down on the side stick. Looks good. Flex. How are they not set? Okay, my detent is very loose, is what that was. $80. Checked. Rotate. Positive rate. You're up. Look how slow that gear comes up. Wow. Climb is set. Go ahead and get the autopilot 1 going there. Excellent. Are you going to hand me over to departure? Truly a gentle giant. It really is. Flaps up after takeoff checklist. Delta 3318 heavy over to departure. See ya. Hello departure, Delta 3318 heavy, 3000 climbing 17,000 on the Clavin 3. Alrighty, we'll climb unrestricted to maintain 17,000 for Delta 3318 heavy. Alright, there we go, 17 is set. Alright, I'll bring the sim sounds back down to a more reasonable level now. There we go. What we can do so we don't exceed our 280 above 10 is we'll just select speed right now. That way once we cross 10,000 feet, I'll manually tune it up to 280 knots. Until we get speed relief from our departure controller there. Yeah, you see that? Like, you hear that? Can you hear, like, you get like that buzzsaw noise right near the engine, but in the back, it's just, you don't even hear, not one rumble, nothing. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I wish someone would make a sound set for the default A330 to take it just make it a little bit more realistic. Absolutely beautiful departure out of here. So we're through 10,000 feet. We'll accelerate to 280 knots. Yeah, there we go. And we'll go ahead and let them know we are now out of Sterile. That's the view I wanted right there. Get a nice view of, well, some sort of view of Detroit as we leave it behind. Kind of waiting for them to hand me off the center here, which I would hope would be soon. The center's still on? There's lots of centers on. Cleveland Center is still online. 1987 is going to be the next frequency. Let me just go ahead and pre-select that in there then. Here we go.
Delta 3318, contact Cleveland Center 119.87.
11987 for Delta 3318. Have a great day. Excellent. We're leveling at here at 17. Hello Center, Delta 3318 is leveling 17,000, restricted to 280 knots via the SID. Of course I messed that up in the switch. 1987. There we go. Missed it by that much. Hello Cleveland Center, Delta 3318, 17,000 and 280 knots. Hello Center, Delta 3318, level 17,000 at 280 knots.
Delta 3318, Cleveland Center, resume normal speed, climb maintain flight level 400.
Normal speed, climb and maintain flight level 400 for Delta 3318. Alrighty, so there we go. We'll go ahead and go up. We can just manage it. That should be fine. In fact, if it keeps doing this weird bouncing thing, I'll fly it in selected speed. Don't know what that's all about. Here, Detroit suburbs are relatively quiet. I think, you know, I would not doubt that. Max Racing. Let's see. Let's go transition standard. Said once, twice for some reason, and thrice. There we go. I wouldn't I wouldn't doubt it, Max Racing, only because I know like Detroit is kind of undergoing its own revitalization now after it got hit hard in 2008, and I think that's where a lot of the stuff where okay, this airplane clearly is bugging out on something, and I have no clue what it's bugging out about. Because it was doing that weird thing with the gross weights here. Oh my gosh. Seriously? Does this work? Will this actually do something? Nope. It does nothing. Yeah, that literally does nothing. Alright, what's the use of having that there? Other than making the whole outside look yellow. Alrighty. Well, we'll leave that as is, I guess. Can't see anything, but that's quite alright. I'll turn that down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so they're undergoing their own like little revitalization there, Max Racing. In Detroit, so I definitely think a lot of the inner cities are kind of going through their own revitalization. So I do know you can get some really good deals on property in Detroit as well. It's kind of like Houston in the aspect that the crime gets overhyped by people. I really do think it does. I think, you know, no city has... Here's my take on a lot of like the crime stats and all that fun stuff. I don't think there's any more or less crime in any given city, regardless of what city it is, right? So the sheer fact that you're going to have more people living in a smaller area means the crime is gonna seem like it's higher, but on a per capita basis, it's probably gonna average out to be right around where most other cities are. And I do think Houston gets a bad rap for having like high crime. And I think a lot of cities get overhyped for having high crime. Houston is relatively safe if you stay in the nice areas, right? You stay in the nice suburbs, and I mean, crime is going to be relatively low there. Although there are so many people moving here, it's nuts. Is it? I didn't realize that Houston was going gangbusters in terms of growth there. Is it all from oil companies moving in? And obviously with that comes a lot of people moving in and buying houses and working, obviously, the refineries and stuff like that. So what's the reason why Houston is going gangbusters? I know I have a brother-in-law that used to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and when he was living there, I forgot what the stat was. It was like 1,000 people a day were moving to that area. Like absolutely insane, the amount of people moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We are the fastest growing city in the U.S. Wow. Okay. I mean, people obviously love the hot summer times and high humidity that the summertime brings. Also, doesn't it get pretty cold there in the winter time too? Like the weather there can get pretty nuts.
Center United, 1508, we're at the top of drop.
It's 1508, thank you, Center 1017,000, the Buffalo altimeter 2990.
17,2990 for the altimeter, 1508.
American 709 Bravo with you at 33,000. American 709 Bravo with you.
Another city where it's hard to believe how fast it's growing is Phoenix, being as big as it is. For it to be literally in a desert in the middle of nowhere is, and then all of a sudden you just have Phoenix, Arizona. That's just is massive. A testament to, I mean, that is mostly modern technology. Without air conditioning, there's no way people could live in Phoenix. It just wouldn't happen. Oil, gas, people coming in from California, cheap property. Yeah, I believe all of that. I definitely believe all of that. You definitely have people leaving California and moving to neighboring states such as Arizona. I think that's where Phoenix is getting a lot of its population from, is people moving out of California and into Arizona. Also, Texas, I feel like it's population from California, mostly in the tech sector. Because I know, was it Tesla or SpaceX? Either way, it's one of Elon's companies. Said they're done with California, so they up and left and went to Texas. He built a huge gigafactory there, and I feel like it employs half of Texas, probably. Who knows? Ed E, hello. How are you doing this afternoon, Ed E? Hopefully you're having a great day. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest, sir. All right, frequency change approved for Delta 3318. Thanks for the ATC, and you have a great night.
Appreciate that.
Alrighty, so we'll go 122.8. But I think Atlanta and Memphis are online, so we won't have to worry about that. Go ahead and switch to that. We won't use... Okay, so Atlanta would be the next center we talk to, and I do believe they're online. Yeah, Atlanta Center is online. So we should be able to get a little bit of ATC on the way into Atlanta. And they're currently on 3297. I'll go ahead and pre-select that. 3297. There we go. You know what? That's good enough. We'll climb up at Mach 0.81. Jack Flight Sim says, hey, good buddy, thanks for stopping by my stream last night. Great to see you. Great to see you as well, Jack Flight Sim. If you haven't seen his channel, go ahead and head on over there. Give him a subscribe. That greatly helps him expand his community. He has a great little channel over there, and it was just good fun seeing you flying around K2 there last night, and I could definitely say the winds were not being nice to you last night. I could tell you that much, but you managed to get her on the ground with a beautiful landing. Welcome, Captain Jack, to the Eagle's Nest. I think that's what I'm gonna call it, the Eagle's Nest. How do we feel about that? Eddie says, think you had another flight in the Phoenix today in 2024. It was nice and with a good landing. Very nice, Eddie. Very, 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 very nice. So maybe that was just a weird transient thing that was going on. Or maybe there was a secret update that Microsoft did and fixed whatever it was that was causing the Phoenix to glitch out there. But glad to know that the Phoenix is starting to treat you real nice, because it really is a joy of an airplane to fly. Obviously, if you're in Flight Sim 2024, it's one of the few airliners that you get to fly, at least narrow body airliners that you get to fly. Because I don't think the PMDG 737 hasn't come over, and I don't think the iFly is in 2024. The Max 8, I don't think that's in 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Eagle's Nest sounds great. Thank you, Max Racing. Yeah, trying something new. Thank you very much, Gamja Flight Sim. Eagle's Nest is a great name for your community. Awesome. Thank you. Really do appreciate it. It's just something, I don't know. It's that comes from a long time ago. Back when I was in school, and we were the Eagles, which is, I don't know if you could put 2 and 2 together there. I'm an Eagle. I was an Eagle in school. You see where the channel name is coming from there. But when they wanted everyone to return to class, or return to your classroom, they'd come over the interphone and they say, "All Eagles return to the nest." And for some reason, a few days ago, I just thought about that, and I was like, you know what? Eagle's Nest. Eagle's Nest. So yeah, I think so. Me too. I love the Phoenix. I just bought it a few weeks ago. Okay, right on. Eddie, I'm glad you are enjoying your time in the Phoenix. For me, I personally feel like it's worth every cent that you pay for it. Hands down. It is right up there with PMDG in terms of fidelity and simulation. And it's just accuracy, and they're constantly striving to get better. They're constantly striving to get better. So if the community is gets on the forums and is making a fuss because this doesn't feel right with the airplane, well, they go and they look into it. They just don't sit there and say, no, this is what it is, this is right. They say, okay, well, let's look into it, let's see what how the airplane lands versus what we think it should be landing like, how to make your consumer level side stick, which is what most people have, right? And I have it too. I have the Thrustmaster side stick, right? So your consumer level side stick to make it feel like an Airbus side stick. So I think they do a really good job taking criticisms and going back and tweaking their product to further improve upon it. So in that aspect, even if you only bought one, just the 320, because it can be kind of pricey. I think if you get all three, it can get fairly pricey. Obviously, I got all three because I'm an Airbus pilot, so I'm gonna fly all three. But even if you just get the 320 or 321, well worth the investment. Or to have one or two of them versus all three. Because you got updates for life. You think about it. When it came out in 2020, it was just a 320, and I think it just had CFMs. So it was just the 320, non-Sharklet CFMs, and I paid for that for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 for free. Is it for free? I don't know if I paid for the extension. I may have paid for the extension, but we got IAEs. No. Yeah, I forgot if you had to pay for it if you were first in the door. I don't know if you paid for the extension, but if you did, I definitely paid for the expansion pack for the 319 and 321. Which later you got the IAEs as well, and the Sharklets, and now they're going to be coming out with the Neo. So, if you hang in there with them long enough, they definitely prove their worth there. I was we're in Chattanooga Valley Eagle. You were a Chattanooga Valley Eagle. Are you talking about Chattanooga, Tennessee? That was my high school. Yeah, so I'm gonna assume that's I know you're out in Denver, but I'm gonna assume that's in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You gotta let me know if that was Chattanooga, Tennessee. Cam Jack Flight Sim, and if it was, let's see, we got Knoxville there. Chattanooga is further on the south side. Was it the south side? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's south side of Tennessee. There it is. Choo-choo. Right there. So you got Chattanooga, Tennessee right here. I'm not going to try to block the whole thing. Oop, there we go. So you got Chattanooga here. There's downtown Chattanooga. And my assumption is this is the quote-unquote valley. There, Cam Jack Flight Sim. Grew up just south of Chattanooga. Wow, okay, right on. Right on. It has been a very, very long time since I've been to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I didn't mean to hit that. I meant to see what we're doing up here. Let's go ahead and bump your speed on up. Go on up to 8.5. How does that sound? There we go. Max Recent says, what's the grub for tonight, Cap? Well, dinner has already been served. However, our drink for tonight is a beach candy by Sycamore. So there we go. A little Florida in a can for you. It's just south of the main town, just west of Rossville. I think that's how you say that, Rossville, near Lookout Mountain. All right, so let's see. So you were in this area down here then. So there's Chattanooga. Here's Lookout Mountain. Chattanooga Valley right here. That's about it. I'm thinking this is the area then, with the intersection of these two. This looks like an interstate, and this looks like a highway of some sort, or a bypass that comes off that highway there, but keep it below 0.004. We'll try. We'll see if things get interesting towards Atlanta. Near the town of Flintstone. So yeah, okay, there we go. So this is it right there. That's where Captain Jack Flight Sim went to high school, right there. Very awesome. I was a trip or so ago. I forgot where we were flying, but the FO was saying where they grew up at, and I literally just randomly zoomed in He said it was north of somewhere, but also south of somewhere. And, but you know what? We were way out west. Okay. So, there's Phoenix. Is this Phoenix? Doesn't seem like that'd be Phoenix. That's Durango. Oh, I'm in Mexico. Nope. Alright, so here's Phoenix. Alright, so he wasn't quite. There's Sedona. He was trying to describe where he lived, or grew up, and I could not find it on the map for anything. And then I randomly zoomed in, and I think this is where he said Ash Fork. I think this is a little town where he grew up. I'm like, are you serious? I just randomly zoomed in on the map and zoomed right into Ash Fork there. And I want to say he was even a little further north than Ash Fork. But I thought that was absolutely funny that he's trying to describe where he grew up. And I just take my iPad, zoom in, and boom, there's the city right there on the map. Let's see. This is I can't find it. Well, max racing, it's 6%, so not quite below that 0.04 there, buddy. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But hey, it's a simulator. Don't have to worry about the simulator FAA meeting me once we land in Atlanta. If they do, I know who called the sim FAA on me. He said they might random you in Atlanta. My random story, I don't know if I've told this story before, but my random story here is last year I was randomed so much that Michaela and I were on first name basis. I just knew when I was pulling in and I could see her standing on the jet bridge. It was for me. It was for me. That's who it was. It was for me. And it's hilarious because I was randomed, I feel like 3, maybe 4 times last year. And there'll be some people who have never been random their entire career. Especially there's some flight attendants that, you know, pilots, we have the hard cap at 65. And to get into the industry takes a decent amount of time for you to get your ratings and build up your hours. Whereas a flight attendant, most flight attendants, they can start at 17, 18 years old. So you have some flight attendants that started when they were 17 years old. You know, now they're in their 60s, 70s. And they have never been randomed, ever. This is kind of their thing. I don't want to put any one airline under the bus for that. Because to be honest, it could literally happen to anyone. There's been a few instances where crew members have been held overseas. Literally, it is an arrestable offense overseas. So if they'll random you before your flight, this is more or less not a random. They kind of know if you've been partying too hard overseas. And as Max Racing very well knows, 0.08 is the limit for. Wait, no, so it's 0.04, right? So 0.04 is the limit, but overseas it's 0.02. And a lot of times, if you blow anything, they'll still try and charge you. So if you're an international person, just be careful when you go out. Don't stay up too late, and drink plenty of water. Also, the other thing you gotta worry about when you're going overseas, and a lot of times in some of these states now, like I'm not hating on your state here, Kamchak, but Colorado, California, where weed is legal, they also have CBD beer. Apparently, CBD everything, right? So you also got to be careful when you go out and you think, oh, this sounds like a really cool tasty drink, I'm gonna have that, and you don't realize it's a CBD beverage. And so it just seems like there's more and more things out there that can get you now as a crew member. It's just wear the cap and sunglasses while the passes. Don't forget the jacket, all right? You gotta wear the jacket as well. The cap, sunglasses, and jacket. No one. How will they know? How will they know? How will they know? I wish Microsoft would add to their wardrobe collection for your characters, so I can put the hat and sunglasses on my character. And the jacket. You gotta have the blazer. Are you even a Delta captain if you don't wear the blazer? I mean, come on. Alrighty, so our next fix is the first fix on their arrival here, so let's go ahead and take a look at our tablet. So we make our way down through Indianapolis Center. Yeah, so we're not going to get into Atlanta's airspace until we cross Kitron, something like that. I don't know, something. Oh, there's two Atlantis, and oh no, someone must be observing the other. That's what that must be. Alrighty. Let's see. We'll bring our range all the way down. We'll go to plan. I never... What does the engine do? Oh, it just throws the engine up there. That's a very interesting way of doing things. Anyway. Because I guess you don't have an eCam. Oh. I guess that's just the upper display. I don't know. You have to be an engine for it to display like that? I don't know. I am confusion. Alright, well, it is what it is. We'll leave it in plan. Let's step through our fixes here on the arrival. We have this fix, Kitron. Then theirs. Then Pup Dog. I'm assuming that's how you say that. A lady. We all. No. Stairway. Is it stairway? I'm gonna go stairway. And on tray. I wonder what that's supposed to say. You got Higgy Zeppelin. Stairway 100. I don't know. It seems like Pup Dog a Lady we all know. Something. It seems like it's saying something. I'm just not connecting all the dots there. So we got Andre at 13,000. If they're landing west, we can expect that at 250 knots. Let me modify that. 13 and 250. There you go. Then hey, my friend, gotta check out for a while. See you later. Cam Jack Flight Zip, thanks for coming in. Great to have you in the Eagle's Nest this evening. And I look forward to catching your very next live stream. Hopefully you have a great night, sir. We'll see you around the next time. And if anyone knows what all this is referencing, Pup Dog a Lady we all know, Stairway, Andre, let me know. I don't know what the reference is. I don't know what the reference is. Sometimes there's a reference, sometimes there's not. Then you got Smelly, and then Volts, that's going to be 9,000. Then we can get the discount for the ILS to runway 26 right. We're going to have a Bamboo at or above 4,000. Well, this is very interesting, because that's not how that should be. It should be Bamboo at or above 4,000. Who programmed this? There we go. Bamboo's at or above 4,000 feet. And then we have AJ. It's going to be at or above 2,700 feet. And I'm not hitting that correctly. There we go. AJ at or above 2,700 feet. From AJ to the runway is 5.2 miles. So we got that rounds down to 5 miles. 3-degree glide slope. That looks good on a 276 track. The final approach course is 275. Close enough for me. There we go. For the missed approach, 1,800. Then a climbing right-hand turn to 4,000 inbound on the RMG 132 radial to Dallas and hold. So there we go. There's 4,000. There's the hold. And we don't need anything there. Let's see. Let's go flight plan. Currently researching properties at where at Max Racing? You saying Detroit or Atlanta? You got me on a soapbox now. Let's see. Okay. Nope, that is not the right frequency. It is IGXC. What are you doing, box? Right? Gonna go IX. Nope, IGXZ. IGXZ. I am slowly learning the ways of the I and I Airbus. Is kind of weird. 110.1. That's the correct frequency. Let's go ahead and throw up the LS there. 110.1. Excellent. 275 is the final approach course. Yep, that looks good. That's the front course. This should have the glide slope there too, but you know, it is what it is. Progress, let's go KATL26R. There you go. Performance approach page. Let's go ahead and pull the latest weather from Hotlanta. They're still using 26 right and 27 left. Bravo is going to be the weather. It has not been updated in quite some time. 320 at 5. 21 degrees with an altimeter of 3002. Muy bien. The minimums here is 1190, so we'll go ahead and throw that in there. And I like to use auto brakes low. We're going to be more than light enough to land with auto brakes low. I'll put you back in plan, zoom you back out again, and put you back on flight plan. Excellent. While we have ample time here, let's see, places where airlines are based. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. Take a look into that, especially if you are looking to go to the airlines. You want to pick one, the airline you want to go to, obviously in mind, should be about where you want to live, so on and so forth. I'm assuming since you are in Houston, my best bet would be Mesa for your regional carrier, United for your mainline carrier, or Spirit. Does Frontier have a base there in Houston, or Frontier? And then obviously Southwest is always an option. Right now they're going through some things, but that's okay. Hopefully they come out stronger on the other side. Southwest has always historically been a very, very, very strong airline. And a great company to work for as well. Alrighty, so while we have ample time up here, we can go ahead and ask if our Ghost FO is ready for a briefing. Yep, alrighty. What are your threats coming in there? Well, Vensim ATC likes to just shortcut you straight to the runway, so we'll try to slow the aircraft up and not be rushed by air traffic control. Yep, I definitely agree. If we see that we're going to get shortcut, and we'll just slow the aircraft down to our final approach configuration and get on in there. We have reviewed the arrival, the Entree 1 arrival. The first restriction is going to be Entree at 13,250 knots since they're landing west, with the bottom side being volts at 9,000 feet. Plan on doing a ILS and ILS to runway 26 right. That's going to be chart 11-13, dated 16 April 21. The frequency is going to be 110.1. Final approach course is 275. AJ is going to be at 2,700 feet. The minimums are 1190. Touchdown zone is 990, and the MSA around the airport is 3,100 feet, all quadrants. For the missed approach, we'll climb to 1,800. Then sorry, I missed the configuration. Flaps full, low auto brakes if we need to go miss. Plan on doing a soft go around. We'll climb up to 1,800, then a climbing rate turn to 4,000 and bound on the RMG 132 radio to Dallas and hold. None of these notes should apply to us there. Got a PAP on the left, MALSR lighting, Mauser lighting, I like to call that. And when we do land, plan a left-hand turnoff on one of those forward high speeds there, and we'll figure out how to get to the gate. This evening, we're going to be parking on gate Echo 30. Nope, I don't need you. The one whole gate I have set up is oh, they have another international course there. Cool. I think I got Echo 32 set up. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, Echo 32. I had to take a picture of the gate I had set up. There we go. There we go. You know, I ended up downloading some SimBrief profiles from INI. I was over in the INI app, updating some things, and I noticed they had a bunch of the airports I have from INI. They had some GSX profiles, so I went ahead and downloaded some GSX profiles. One of them being Detroit, but still, something's still off. So I just like going in and editing my own parking positions. And this time, Max Racing, I already forgot the parking spot. Oh my gosh. Wow. 32, I think it was. E32. Yeah, E32. E32. Someone put that in chat before I forget it, like, again. But what was I gonna say? It's Max Racing. Since I went in and modified this one, we have digital parking today. Yay! So we should be able to see. We should be able to use the digital parking system today. We have Atlanta Center on 3297. Let's go ahead and flip over and get to talking to them.
November 21, Mike, contact Jack 135, 1 out or 2, see ya. 3592.
Hello, Center Delta 3318, flight level 400.
3318, Atlanta Center, IDAT.
Well, IDAT for Delta 3318. There we go. Oh, look at the mountains down there. Absolutely beautiful.
Checking in, all I got was static.
Have you heard about Frontier's contract? I have not. You say it's not great. The pilots over at Frontier Airlines have a terrible contract. I can send you an interesting Alpha video. It's on YouTube about it. If you say it's on YouTube, I can definitely find it, and just watch it there.
3318, radar contact 80 northwest of the volunteer VOR. Maintain flight level 400.
Maintain flight level 400, Delta 3318. Yeah, I'll definitely. That's very interesting. Yeah, I'll see what they got going on in their contract. I know. Frontier, and probably next is going to be Spirit, since they're both kind of in a choked situation right now. And I wouldn't even doubt it if JetBlue was starting to get in that territory too. I don't know when their contract negotiations are up, but I think those three, obviously in Southwest too. I don't know when any other contracts are back for negotiations, but all of those airlines are not in the best of positions, or the unions, I should say, are not in the best positions to lobby for huge gains in the contracts. So we'll see. The last time I checked, the pay at Frontier actually wasn't bad at all. But again, I don't know what other quality of life things they were looking for in their contract, or were they taking paid concessions? Who knows? the A330 just has such a big wing. Absolutely beautiful.
American 1186, Atlanta, you checked in yet?
I'm pretty sure the A330 and the A340 share the same exact wing too. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on that. Which would explain why the A330 has such a massive wingspan. I mean, maybe the 340 has a slightly longer wing.
Challenge 4392, Atlanta Center, climb maintain for level 370.
But I think the 340 was kind of based off of the 330 platform.
American 3003, Surgeon, Bama.
Clear to Bama. Make sure to watch it. It's a reminder that the contract is everything. I feel like it should be shown to student ATP pilots. I mean, really, if you know, I don't know if ATP is the school you're going to, or you're saying like student pilots that are trying to get their ATP rating. Either way, yes, you definitely need to be paying attention to industry news, as you live by that contract. You live by the contract. You die by the contract. It is everything. It controls your life. How often you're home. How often you're on the road. What hotels you stay in. When you're on the road. What certain amenities you get while you're working a trip. You know. Do you need to pay for your meal? That, you know, a lot of the ultra low cost carriers, they do have meals on airplanes, but they're usually like snacks, snack boxes or whatever that you got to pay for, right? So, do you got to pay for those snack boxes? Are the company going to give you, like, you know, a free snack box every 12 hours you're on duty? Like, you know, so like it's all those little things that can add up to how is your overall quality of life going to be, you know? Allegiant, you never really hear anything about Allegiant, but you know, those pilots are home every single night. Are they the highest paid pilots in the industry? By far, no. But is it a nice little quality of life thing to be able to go to work and come home and be in your own house every night? Yeah. So I mean, take those little wins where you can, right?
Yes, sir, we lost the voice over there. We're just passing 8,200, going to flight level 35 there. 29 Fox.
Thanks. Crimson 76 cross shipper at maintain 13,000. The Hartsfield altimeter 3001.
Cross shipper had to maintain 3,000 and 3,001
Scout 4392, runner contact lost. Level 3318, cross Andre at and maintain 13,000 at 250 knots. The Hartsfield altimeter 3001.
Ready, will cross Andre at 13,000, 250 knots for Delta 3318. Alrighty. 13,000, here we go.
Atlanta Center, start with 4392.
Go ahead and manage that up. Get the engine spooling back a little bit there. Alright, and we will go ahead once I get a little bit of space between me and VMO. There we go. Or MMO. We'll go ahead and manage our descent.
Very good. 7250 speed request in rider port. Left to right deviation for weather.
American 1753, Rod. Deviations left and right of course approved. When able, proceed direct to Jonesing advised. Maintaining 1000.
Okay, proceed 1000. And when able, direct John C. and will advise for now. Break it 1754.
Alrighty, I definitely see a few things about the. I mean, they've been in contract negotiations for over a year now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here at Frontier. For sure, we'll be keeping an eye out on that. Alright, we began our descent. I'm gonna go ahead and throw... Oh, I forgot. I thought I turned the fast seatbelt sign off. I guess I did not. Okay. Fast seatbelt sign is on, and we'll keep it on for the rest of the flight there.
American 3003, cross Bama at and maintain flight level 200. Hotlanta, good evening. American 2450, flight level 360, inbound, swap. Delta 2112, cross Chipper at and maintain 13,000. The RTL altimeter 3001, do not exceed 280 knots.
Cross Chipper at maintain 13,000, do not exceed 280 knots. That's 2112.
They got a 2 bridge frequencies there. Let me see what the ATIS is currently.
76, maintain best forward speed.
That's forward, sorry.
Alpha.
They proceed direct John C. For break.
That's not what I wanted. I wanted to go back up to the flight deck.
Thank you, descend via the Jones.
It will descend via the John C. 5 arrival.
Performance area. The altimeter is going to be 3001. There we go. Temperature 20 degrees.
Yep, 720 traffic, 11 o'clock, 6
Winds 280 at 3. All right, there we go. Yeah, 03. There we go. The latest weather is in there. 3001. We'll go ahead and reselect that. There we go. Man, it's mind-blowing how terrible the sound is. Like, a lot of other things. There are a lot of other very nice things about the A330, but the sound is not one of them. Current sim time. Well, that's not the right time. That is nowhere near the time I have set. Okay.
Delta 2112, do not exceed 250 knots.
Flight 250 knots, Delta 2112.
1319Z. So, what is that? 11. That's it. Should be almost like 9:20. In the morning. Which is usually what I have set up. So like whatever the time I have set up for the string, I usually, unless it's the West Coast, because the West Coast it's going to be later, if you will. Otherwise, I switch it back to morning time, which is why it's 9:20 in the morning, 9:21 in the morning now. Alrighty, we've intercepted our profile. All is looking good thus far.
Delta 747, Atlanta Center, climb and maintain flight level 410, delete speed restriction. Crimson 76, clear, speed.
250 knots.
American 3450, flight level 360, inbound, lost. American 3450, Atlanta Center, IDAT. American 3450, Atlanta Center, just verify you click the IDAT button.
Oh, someone's not doing what they should be. So goes life on VATSIM.
651, Atlanta Center, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Maintaining flight level 370, Delta 651.
Delta 747, maintain flight level 310, 310, please. November 1 Alpha Echo cross Dutchy at maintain flight level 240.
Dutchy 240, November 1 Alpha Echo.
Delta 747, maintain flight
All
level
right.
310.
It's reached the bottom of its speed target. It would usually bring up the power enough where it would speed back up to its target speed. We shall see. Ooh, a little rough in the descent.
Maintain flight level 360.
That's quite all right.
Crimson 76, connect approach 133.47.
3347, Crimson 76.
Delta 2112, connect approach 133.47.
This is and the sounds just sound off. Like it sounds like very, like the engines are almost at max power, even though they aren't. They're just not unspooled. And I should have been listening to the frequency he gave that last aircraft. Atlanta. Oh, there's only one approach controller now. 3347. So there we go. We'll pre-select 3347. Pre-selecting is always great when you're flying single pilot on VATSIM, because a lot of times you start getting very busy and it's hard to fly the airplane and be looking down and trying to change a frequency while also trying to change the heading and speed and altitude and all that other stuff. So pre-selecting that frequency so you can just look down, boop, change it. You know, a lot of people, they'll have like hardware, so, or the peripherals that they can change their radios physically, which is a lot easier when you can change things physically. You can touch buttons physically, but you know, I'm not about that life. I'm not gonna go ahead and build out an entire A320 flight deck and, you know, spend, you know, $40,000 on building an A320 flight deck, because why? Yes, I do fly an A320, and yes, I would like a very realistic setup, but you know,
169.
my Thrustmaster setup works just as well for me. Now my detents are super soft. I gotta figure something out about my detents being so soft. But other than that, it works perfectly fine for me.
Atlanta Center, Delta 169 is top of the sun.
Delta 169, Atlanta Center, just go ahead and ident for me. You can descend via the Parker 4, landing south, the Charlotte altimeter 2999.
Alright. Delta 169 is on ident and is going to arrive via the Parker 4 arrival heading.
Delta 1, America 1. Delta 169, radar contact 10 north at Glade Springs, VOR. And just verify landing south, you can descend via the Parker 4 arrival.
Descending via Parker 4 arrival, going south, Delta 169.
November.
130,400
Center 2294, Atlanta Center, climb to maintain, flight level 240, delete speed assurance.
Roger, use subject follow 240, Delta 129.
November 1 Alpha, Echo, Jack Center's off, better service deduction, eliminated change of advisory frequency is approved. Unicom, Foster Morale Echo, thanks for that.
I would very much like to question if we're going to cross this at 13,250, but we shall see. Just under 10,008, 9,000 feet to go, so we'll see.
American 3450.
Eddie says, "Yeah, I have the Airbus side stick from Thrustmaster." Yes, I have the side stick, and then I have the TCA Captain's Pack as well. And I mean, that will pretty much do. The only thing I did was I got a mod from a guy online that changed the detents, which now my detents aren't exactly synced. So one thrust lever is slightly, I mean ever so slightly, I mean the thickness of a penny off, but that's just enough where you're trying to set both in one detent and move them together. And that's where, like you saw on the takeoff, I don't know if you were here for the takeoff, but you saw on the takeoff, I got the thrust lever asymmetry ECAM right here. And it's because, you know, if I move both of them together, they don't click in the detent at the same time. So it is what it is. Saw a storm on the East Coast on radar worker. I wonder if it moved. The East Coast radar worker. Oh, let me hold on, because I think don't quote me on this. Can I put like weather? Is this what you're looking at right here? All this mess right here. Yeah, got a whole lot of mess right there. Not a great time to fly in a Raleigh. You're not gonna have fun. Alrighty, there's transition 3001 set once, twice, and thrice. We get our wing light on. We can double check our status messages. We have none. Let's go ahead and do some sort of descent checklist. Altimeters 3001. Auto brake is low. Preferred approach page is set. The arrival briefing is reviewed. The Andre 1 arrival. ILS runway 26 right approach. Status is checked. Descent checklist is complete. What's the temperature outside? I can barely see, but I think we need to turn the engine anti-ice on. And we can go ahead and pause our in-flight music there. We will get that going here in a little bit.
Delta 3318, contact approach 133.47.
13347 Delta 3318 Heavy. Have a great night. Thanks for the ATC.
Bye-bye.
801 Atlanta departure, radar contact. Departure Delta 2072 through 8,700 for 10,000. Delta 2072 Atlanta departure, radar contact. Climb maintain 14,000. Up to 14,000 Delta 2072. Delta 2072, contact Atlanta Center, 121.35. 2135, Delta 2072.
Hello, approach Delta 3318 Heavy, 15,000 descending across Andre, 13,250 knots. We have information. Charlie? I thought it was Alpha.
18 Atlanta approach. Good afternoon, runway 26 right.
26 right for Delta 3318. Alrighty. 26 right it is. Let me go ahead and just give it a little bit of speed brake there to help it on out. We will bring you down to 40-mile range. And we didn't get a descend via. We just got Andre at 13,250 knots.
378 land departure, radar contact, climb maintain 14,000. 14,000, Delta 378.
14 for 13. It is plus 10. I'll leave the engine anti-ice on at least for now. I'll probably turn it off once we get a little lower and it starts warming up.
Atlanta approach, Delta 1733, I'm with you.
I'm with you. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are.
Delta 1733, land departure, radar contact, climb maintain 14,000.
All right, 250. I'm gonna go ahead and select that speed. I'm gonna go ahead and activate our approach phase. That looks good.
Okay, to Atlanta, good night. Delta 2112, it's going to maintain 4,000. It's going to maintain 4,000, Delta 2112.
Let's see if anyone is out there in front of us. Or to see, but I don't think so. We want below, by the way. Alrighty. Now that I have the brain capacity to think about it, let's go ahead and start a recording for the replay. There we go. We are recording.
Anyway, it's Crimson 76, what's my frequency? 127.9.
Let's see. Do they have a tower? Yep, tower 19.1.
112, change my frequency 127.9.
Oh gosh. Is he splitting? Are they splitting?
Delta 2112, thanks. Delta 3318, switch my frequency 127.9.
We made the switch 127.9 for Delta 3318. $19.1 is the other one.
United 801, you saw the frequency? Delta 378, County Atlanta Center 121.35. Bye-bye, Crimson 76, turn right, heading 230 to center, maintain 4,000.
I hope he's going to descend us soon. But this does look beautiful. Right in the little... Look at that.
Delta 3318, descend and maintain 9,000, fly present heading.
Present heading 9,000, Delta 3318. 9,000, that's set. Here we go. And we will just go ahead and select our present heading.
Crimson 76, turn right 250, zone localizer.
I'll radio land off of Bamboo. Direct to Bamboo. And radial in is that's not going to be the radial line. It's going to be. I need that bridge chart.
Yeah, speed your discretion, that's fine.
095. Does that make sense?
2112, reduce speed to 180.
095. That looks good. So we can do 180 Delta 3318. Oh my gosh. He wants the world.
Crimson 76, what's the best speed you can give me to AJS the fast?
I can give you like 230. That works, Crimson 76.
If you could do that, I'd really appreciate it.
Gotcha.
We're through 10. All the rest of the lights are coming on.
You're 4 miles from Bamboo, maintain 3,000, so establish and localizer, clear ILS from 26.
Alright. VFP next minus 10 flaps 1. Speed verified.
Delta 2112, turn right heading 180.
Turn right heading 180, 2112.
Delta 3318, flighting 180, descend and maintain 6,000.
180 6,000 Delta 3318. 180 6,000. 6 set. Alrighty, so what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and we will execute that. And boop, go ahead and redo this. There we go. Excellent. VFE next minus 10, flaps 2, speed verified. There we go. We'll go ahead and keep her coming on down to 6,000 feet. I do have my speed brakes all the way out, as you can see. All the way out. Flaps are coming down. Looking good. We may be insanely high on this. I have no clue what this guy thinks I can do.
Right heading 250, join localizer, Delta 2112.
Crimson 76 at AJ, contact tower 19.
I'm like, I'm giving her all she's got. Let's see. Bamboo is at 4,000. So we let's see what this guy's cooking up. All right. This happens every time on VATSIM. The controllers have no concept of what an aerodynamics are, and they just assume that, you know, in one radar update that you're going to instantly be at the altitude you gave them, and it's like, no, this takes time and distance. But our level off arrow is looking pretty optimistic here, so I will maintain my optimism. IGXZ on the PFD 110.1, that looks good. 19.1 nautical miles from the field. All is looking good. We're tracking it quite well. I think we're low enough. Yeah, plus 13. Engine anti-ice can come off.
Delta 3318, turn 10 degrees right.
10 to the right, Delta 3318.
Delta 2112, you're 4 miles from Bamboo, good ILS 26 right approach, maintain 180 knot or greater to AJ.
180 knots or greater to AJ, clear ILS 26 right, Delta 2112.
Delta 3318, descend and maintain 4,000.
4,000, Delta 3318. Down to 4. Set. Bring this down to 10 nautical miles because we're going to be intercepting just outside of Bamboo there. That glide slope is starting to come switch the correct side of my yellow bar there. Love that. Once that switches to the correct side, I'll probably stow the speed brakes.
Delta 3318. I'll disregard.
Okay. Disregarding.
Delta 3318, turn right 250, doing localizer.
250, join a 26 right localizer, Delta 3318.
Delta 2112 at 8.
Join the localizer.
19.1.
There we go. We're on the correct side of localizer.
19 point, Delta 2112.
Or the correct side of the glide slope now. All is well. Actually, it doesn't seem like it's that bad once you get below this deck here, but it's not the best.
4 miles from Bamboo, maintain 4,000 till established on localizer, clear ILS from right 26 right approach.
4,000 until established. Cleared for the ILS 26 right approach for Delta 3318. Alrighty, we are cleared for the approach. I got a Cat 3 dual.
At AJ, contact tower 19.1.
Tower at AJ, have a great night. Thanks for the ATC, Delta 3318.
Thanks for flying.
19-1, ground is 21-9, so we'll go ahead and get that in there in a little bit. It should be set up for a nice little double capture here. There's the airport directly in front of us. Eddie says, I think my flight tomorrow is going to be Cincinnati to Orlando. Oh, that is going to be an amazing flight there. Gonna go down to the House of Mouse. All right, low capture. Oh, it was almost a double capture there. Gotta give him credit. Alrighty. I'm gonna peel it back just a hair. I don't need this to be on below anymore. We'll put you back on all. How about that? All right, glide slope capture set the miss approach altitude. Miss approach altitude is 4,000. That is set. So 25,000 pounds of fuel. The flight dispatcher spoiled us. 25,000 pounds of fuel. You would think, well, one, we have an alternate of Greenville, Spartanburg. So that's one of the reasons. And two, I always have a reserve of 1 hour. So that's why it seems like we have a lot. Also, you got to remember we're in a 330, not a 319. So you can go through 24,000 pounds of fuel fairly quickly. Remember, we were also cruising along at 40,000 feet. That's not what we're going to be doing on the way up to GSP. At any rate, let's go ahead and begin slowing her down. I'm gonna put tower up. We'll do 21.9. Low tower, Delta 3318, AJ inbound, 26 right.
Delta 3318, heavy Atlanta tower, hello, runway 26 right, set line.
26 right, clear to land for Delta 3318 heavy. Alrighty, gear down. Flaps 3, speed verified. Oh, this is gonna make us do this, isn't it? Where we gotta like the all call, do something like that to check on them. And VFA next minus 10. Let's go flaps full, speed verified before landing. Checklist altimeters. We have 3001 2500. Engine mode is norm. Landing gear down. 3 green ECAM memo. Landing cabin blue. I don't know how to check this. It's one of them.
730, contact departure.
I don't know. There we go. It is. Cabin's ready.
Left at Bravo 6 and contact ground point 9 after crossing.
Cross 26 West Bravo 6, contact ground point 9 or Delta 2112.
Alrighty, some volumes coming up. stable. Autopilot's off. Tilt my view up just a hair there. So she's sensitive in the pitch axis, but slow in the roll axis. I don't know if that's how it is in real life. I mean, it is a big wing, so.
500.
Stable target sync 7. Correcting. Correcting.
100 above. 200. Minimum. $100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
$80. 60. Manual braking, auto brakes off. We'll take this high speed here. Cross 26 left of Bravo 6, ground point 9 on the other side, Delta 3318. Thanks for the ATC. You have a great night. So we are cleared to cross. We're pretty much gonna go, I think, straight ahead, because I think this is our little ramp area here. So let me go ahead and get the APU going, shall I? Hello, ground Delta 3318. Heavy is clear of runway 26 left. We'll be taxiing to Echo 32. Let's call that ramp 5. Straight in, ramp 5 for Delta 3318. Have a great night. Thanks for the ATC. Alrighty, so we'll finish up all of our doodads here. I don't know why the flight directors automatically click off. That's a weird thing. Alrighty. And let's get GSX. I said Echo 32, correct? So E. Yeah, it's the one I set up. There we go. Nope, don't need to follow me. And Delta, obviously. Just got to figure out where 32 is, that's all. That's 34, so I'm assuming the one right by 34 is a 32, if numbers be numbering correctly. And I should also see a safe dock system. Yep, there it is, safe dock system sitting right there. Alrighty, did I turn my taxi light off? Yeah, I got everything off. Sweet. Alright. Very nice, great flight. Thank you all very much. Yes, the A330 is a true joy to fly. There we go. Starting to get some guidance in there now. It's showing it as an A330-300. It should be an A330-200. There we go. Excellent. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hotlanta. Parking brake is set. We can go ahead and get rid of the seatbelt sign there. Engines 1 and 2 we can turn off. We'll go up to the overhead panel here, get rid of our fuel pumps. They can all come off, and we can turn the beacon light off as well. Let's go ahead and look here. Engine oil looks good. Hydraulic quantity all looks good. No odd status messages, and we didn't leak any oxygen. That is great. Should I... Oh, I gotta go outside and actually physically call them to deplane, huh? Let's do a shutdown checklist. The parking brake is on and check. Engine master is off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brake disarm. The radar is off. Wind shear PWS is off. Fuel pumps are all off. And the slides, can I... Is there a way to disarm them? Close all. I don't think there's a way to disarm anything. Oh well. We'll pretend that they're all disarmed. And the APU is on. Shutdown checklist is complete. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll head outside. Did someone just spawn? Literally, bro. Alright, well, we're done. Let's go ahead and disconnect then. That's fantastic that has happened twice already. I'm going to go ahead and we'll stop the recording. Wait for it to stop thinking. There we go. Excellent. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get this airplane deboarded, shall we? So we'll go GSX and request deboarding. Boom. There we go. I don't know what's up with that aft door. Like one door, I don't know. This I&I has like some weird door interactions here. Let me go back in and close that aft door. That makes no sense. Alright, there we go. Oh, Microsoft. You're doing the Microsoft thing again, aren't you? I swear it has something to do with the memory. Something about the memory is making it do that. There we go. Much better. Leave that right there. We'll get our grounded music going there. I'm gonna take the opportunity to refresh my beverage and also use the lavatory. So I will be right back as we finish deplaning here. That took a little bit longer than I was planning on. Let's see. Brakes hot? I don't see any hot brakes. This is the hottest one and it's still below 300. I don't know if like the limitation's slightly different on a 330, who knows. Yes. Don't worry about the people coming off the wall. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here at all. Here, I'll do this. All the invisible walls here. Alright, there we go. This is what? Oh, okay. I guess. There we go. Something like that. Goodbye now. Thanks for choosing Delta. Goodbye. Yeah, sorry that took a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna take. Mrs. Grigel had to fill me in on the lead us neighborhood drama here. There we go. We'll get rid of the overlay there. So we patiently wave goodbye to all of our passengers. I think that'd be the big downside of flying the wide bodies is yeah, you flew the 16 hours halfway around the world, and you get to your destination and you just want to go to your hotel and relax for a little bit, but you gotta wait another 15 minutes for all the passengers to get off the airplane. I never really checked to see if this has a turnaround state that I could just quick start a turnaround state. Are we done? I think we're done. It's gonna give it like one more minute. Don't see any passengers coming out anymore. Excellent. Yep, our flight attendant has yeeted out of the airplane. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and we'll close that door. Panel states we go ready for takeoff. There we go. Wait for the gray boxes to go away. It seems like the engines are doing a full startup. There we go. Just extending the flaps out to something or another. Beautiful. All right, we got 2 good starts there. Great boxes are gone, and yeah, let's go ahead and get this replay going, shall we? Let's see, where's my replay tool? There you are. We'll go ahead and load this replay right here. Can you see downtown Atlanta from this view? Not quite. See where it'd be from that view. Absolutely beautiful. Look at there. Look at there. The visibility has greatly improved now. Absolutely beautiful. You can see the city skyline down there in the distance. What a beautiful landing. The A330 is just, again, I think Max Racing said it best. She's a gentle giant. What's going on with this? Let's get this replay. There we go. Look at there. You got the rears. The rears come down. And then the front trunks come down. And then absolutely beautiful. That's what I would expect out of a 330 landing for sure. Let's get a few drone shots of it. Let's see. I've been trying to do this view. Do this view. This view. Owl says, sweet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Owl's glad you made it to another live stream. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest, good sir. I know, yes, we are flying your favorite airline here, sir. We are flying your favorite airline in your hometown as well, the hometown airline. There we go. Hopefully you're having a great great evening there, owls. Right just on the markers. Let the airplane just settle down on the runway. Absolutely beautiful. Let me go over here. There we go. And now I can rewind you backwards. There we go. I am having a fantastic evening, Owls. Just had a fantastic trip down from Detroit here into Hotlanta. I know everyone calls it Hotlanta, right? That's no one from Atlanta hates it when you say that. And just the A330, even though it's a default A330, it still just flies so well. And then, oh, I don't know what that was. Oh, okay, I should stop moving 2 sticks at the same time. Is that what this is telling me I should stop doing? Alright. I'm gonna rewind it just a hair more. There we go. We're gonna do the number shot right here. So we'll place the camera right on the numbers and just about like 10-15 feet off the ground. That looks good. Wow, the runway textures in this look really good. Beautiful. Right on center line as well. Little swerve there. That's alright. Let's run that back one more time. Shall we? Get the camera lock back on. There we go. I think this needs to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. That looks fine right there. Let's head on up to the front, shall we? We shall rewind it on back. There we go. That should be good right there. Excellent. Well, wrong button. Thank you oh so much, Owls, for dropping in, even if it is just to see that beautiful landing in the Delta A330. I really do appreciate it. Ed E, Max Racing, thank you all oh so very much. And as always, Captain Jack Flight Sim, thank you as well for dropping in. I know you had to dip early, but that is quite all right. If I missed your name, I am so sorry. I don't mean to do that intentionally. But tomorrow we'll do some Frontier Ops down to Orlando. Until the next time I see you all at the live stream, please do remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, I'm Grey Eagle. Peace.